in you. Kita. Hello, Freckles. Hello, sweet.
That's you. That's you.
Good morning. It is Tuesday, and we've just been busy doing odds and sods here the last couple days, but I haven't actually just sat down and had a little convo with you guys. Yesterday was, what was yesterday? It was a little bit of everything. I think Mark was raking hay. We're hoping to bale that tomorrow. It should be pretty good and dry. I also took the time to finally power wash my creep feeders. Carissa had them all cleaned out, but we sit on them for a bit. I want them kind of freshly washed before I put them into the pens, which will happen here. I like to wait a couple weeks before I introduce creep feed. I think they're 14 days old, the oldest one, like this weekend, this coming weekend. So basically anytime late this week, I can start introducing those feeders and probably rearranging some pens a little bit. I like to keep the pens sort of small when, like in small groups, for a good week and a half, and then I make them a little bigger just so I can accommodate less creep feeder areas. So that's going to happen later this week, but I wanted to take the time and go through my lambing calendar to make sure, like in my lambing calendar, I have all my scheduled maintenance on my sheep, and I just wanted to make sure, besides weighing lambs, which we did this morning, and shipping lambs, which we're going to do tomorrow morning, I want to make sure I haven't missed anything else. So I went ahead and put in our next breeding group, which will be our breed in November, early November. So the jobs that we'll need done before that on this next group is a ewe evaluation, which I have to sit down and really go through some numbers, as we all well know. I have actually gone through quite a bit. I haven't talked to you guys about that yet, but we will get to that eventually. I have a hoof trimming planned for the last week of August, first week of September. I have a chlamydia vaccination for my ewe lambs, my first time ewes that are going to be getting bred in November. So their first dose will be around September 8th, and the second dose will be around October 8th. And then the cedars should go in October 25th, and then the rams go in November 7th. So I've got that sort of planned out. The group that we just pulled rams out of last week, I actually don't think I shared that with you guys, but we pulled out the summer breeding group around the 29th of July, so like right in the middle of lambing. I think it was like day 2 of lambing. It was crazy. But we had about an hour to spare, so we just did it. The next step with them is a scan. They'll get a scan here on the first week of September, so around September 2nd. And then right after that, a month later, they'll be sheared. And then a couple weeks after that, they will be hoof trimmed and vaccinated. And then after that, they'll be lambing. So it goes really fast. I can't really comprehend that I used to do this 4 times a year, and then even before that I did it like every 6 weeks. I feel like the time in between anymore, if I'm not lambing, I just fill it up with other stuff. Our custom manure applicators showed up yesterday, so they are spreading, I don't think they're spreading the sheep manure yet, but they're spreading our in-laws' broiler breeder manure. We've got 2 big manure storages that need emptied out, so that's going on all our wheat ground that we just harvested. It will get, we'll get manure, and then Mark works it in right away with our sort of light tillage called a joker. And then after that, he is going to plant cover crop. So, and then the cover crop helps sort of bring the nutrients from the manure into the soil. That's going to be a lot of August. So poor Mr. Brock doesn't really get a break either.
I am just hanging out in Freddy the Fent, our big Fent tractor, and our vertical till tool, high-speed disc, whatever you want to call them, or joker. Or I am working in chicken manure to retain the nutrients. It's very dry. We haven't had rain for, we haven't really had any real meaningful rain for a couple weeks. Even the rain we've gotten in the last little bit has been kind of sporadic, like small amounts. It's been like enough to keep us going, but we're showing some pretty heavy drought stress in the light soils today and yesterday. There isn't really a lot of rain in the forecast for the next 2 weeks, so it is what it is. The plan is to plant cover crop. When there is moisture, it will grow. And but yeah, the job we're just trying to do is make sure that we keep the nutrients around, get the manure buried so that we don't lose nitrogen to the atmosphere, and to retain as much for the corn crop next year. And that's the plan. Anyways, I gotta turn, so see ya.
We always kind of joke that once wheat harvest starts, it's kind of bye-bye to summer, because there's a whole next step in our cropping system that needs to happen after wheat comes off. But wheat is a very, very important crop to us, not only because we use the straw, but because we get to plant these cover crops and spread manure. It adds so much to our soils. We've noticed a huge difference in just how resilient our soils are now that we've been doing this for so many years. So there's a lot to be said about giving back to your soil as much as you can, and we're just really finding that through our yields and just the resiliency of like a bad year. We can see how the soils respond in a positive way. So all worth doing, but it's a lot of work, I guess is what I'm getting to. Sometimes when I don't turn on the camera and chat, it's just because our heads are down and we're just getting the work done. But I thought I'd just take a second and fill you in on everything that was going on. Chris and I, we did take the time today, it is on our schedule, to weigh our market lambs. We did add the ewe lambs that we sorted out a couple weeks ago that are not going to be used as replacements. So we had quite a few of them add to the group. So I think there's 35 ready to go, and we didn't even get weighing them all because I knew we had a trailer load. So we stopped at 35, and I said to Chris, if we don't have a busy week next week, we will weigh them again, because likely we have another probably 20 that could go next week. Get that done before our next flush of lambing, which will be in a couple weeks. So I think we have one more week of sort of reprieve to be able to do that, and then it might get busy again. I decided to head over to Belinda's. I have my trailer hooked up. She has been so kind to sell me her wool. This might be 2 years worth of wool that she has stockpiled for me. I never have enough wool, which is a great problem for the website, but people are left very disappointed. So actually a bunch of you guys were the ones that said, hey, why don't you ask Belinda if you could buy her wool? So I did, and she said yes, like months ago. And the winter was just such a bad winter that I could not get it. And then summer just turned into summer and busy. So because I have a free day, and Belinda stopped by yesterday for a little visit, I said, hey, can I come over to tomorrow and get that wool? And she said, absolutely. So we're gonna head there and get some wool. She's toasty.
Yeah. I actually had an early lunch too.
I'm so hungry at 11:30. I'm like, how can I be this hungry?
Same. So I was like, oh, I'll just go eat now.
Perfect. I was gonna tell you, I was gonna text you at 11:30. I'm eating now because I'm hangry.
Yeah.
And then I'll come, but I'm like, oh, she won't care. I'll just sit in her driveway for half an hour. Oh, just didn't do that very nice. Because we can just roll it up.
Yeah, I'm not driving on that. I'll smack it. You have a telehandler, so it probably reaches in so nice.
It's awkward. Like, you got to use a bale for it because it's everything out the bucket's too wide. So I usually go.
Do you want them in long ways or sideways or?
I wonder if we put them in. Well, I think we'll put them in this way, and then we can
stack them. These ones are easy to get
these are
high
a little
with.
Smaller than mine.
I love this size of that.
Yeah, they're a little
handle.
smaller than mine.
I
think they'll fit.
white plastic ones there.
Yeah, those are the ones I have, and they're almost too square.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll. Do you want to go ahead a little further?
Yeah.
How many bags do you got? Is this the stuff you just did then? This last year. Whew. Yeah, I'm gonna need to strip off these.
When are you delivering this?
I'm gonna email him today. He said I could take him anytime today, or anytime this week. So I said I might do it. We're doing hay tomorrow, so I might do it Thursday. Good thumbnail, me and you jumping into the kiddie pool.
Oh, she's pretty green.
Yeah. So is our pond. Little algae bloom never killed anyone. Good.
Put Roxy on the trailer. Here
Nope.
you go. So I wonder actually if Charlie came here one time and didn't have bags.
There was a time, not that long ago, like a year or two ago, when you said he didn't have bags.
Yeah, and I wonder if those were actually up in the mow, the old burlap style.
Oh wow.
Just hanging over like a rafter. From
Like you found just from back in the day when there were sheep
that
here.
one, yeah.
Wow. There's apples on that tree.
So many.
Already?
We're gonna get a bushel.
When are they usually ready? September?
September.
So they'll be pretty tart. All right, we have Belinda's wool all picked up. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there's another big bag. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 bags of her wool. That's a lot. And then I have, I think, 4 of my own I gotta fit here. So I'll get Chris to help me load that maybe Thursday? Thursday? Listen, you. Little Peter. Okay, how am I gonna get you out of here? You're pretty tight. Here we go. Your mom is way over there. You want me to go take you? Peter? You missing someone? You missing your boy? Are you missing your boy? Oh, goodness. Yeah. You're welcome. Baby. There it is. Right. So what I'm trying to do here is plug holes, because little baby lambs can find any little space that you think nothing can fit in. They can get their head stuck, they can squeeze their little bodies in, and for 2 days in a row, I've caught lambs that are stuck. So I'm trying to sort of investigate any little spaces that to my eye doesn't look like anything could fit, but to a lamb's eye, it will absolutely try to fit. So I have this water gate, and it just fits better than these blue gates, so I'm just installing them. Oh, there's a spot there. So this is gonna have to go there. You're pretty, you. You're very pretty. Hello. You're gorgeous. I didn't delete. You're right. Almost dry hay.
Are those just large idiot cubes?
Well, expensive idiot cubes, I guess, if we have to wrap them.
We have to anyways.
Oh, it smells good though. You've been hard at it. I've not been hard at it. I've been watching the boys bale hay. So Joel came back and baled our third cut, and Mark said we have 40 bales, which is something because we haven't had a lot of rain since second cut. So Mark is trying to sort of pace out how many feet we have here to wrap, because Caden's coming at 5. Think they'll fit?
130 feet.
Would just be a little shy. We have an awkward amount of bales.
30.
We'll just do 2 rows for them, like we did the straw. It's always a math equation. Everything we go to do is a math equation. Oh, it's warm out today. You can hear his brain working from here. I don't even think I welcomed you two today, so hello, it is Wednesday. So this morning, Carissa and I loaded up those lambs that we weighed yesterday. I thought we had 35, but Carissa's like, no, you're keeping some back. I'm like, right. So they were in with that group. So we actually had 32. So we could have fit a few more on the trailer, but you know what? It's hot, and I'd rather not sort of stress them out on the trailer. So 32 this week. We're gonna weigh them again next week, and then then we'll ship again next Wednesday. Hay is baled. Joel just left, and Mark is gathering up bales as we speak. And I've got a couple hours before Caden gets here to wrap. And the last thing we have to do is actually do our daily lamb check. So if you noticed, since these lambs have sort of stopped coming out, I've taken the time about an hour every afternoon just to walk through the pens and make sure the lambs look good. I used to not like doing that because I thought it was too disruptive and I didn't want lambs to get trampled, which also can happen. I just go really slow and I look for holes in gates and stuff. And I also look for any lambs that look like they're going backwards. I think maybe I talked about this yesterday. Anyway, so I still have to do that today. Behind the scenes, what you guys haven't seen at all, just because I haven't had time to bring in my camera and turn it on, is we're doing a lot of prep work for our fall launch, which is right around the corner. A lot of stuff going on there. I've got some wool that I have been winding up, and I made my labels today. So I'm gonna cut these out. And Carissa's been working on advent calendars. So for those that are still emailing me, advent calendars are happening. But again, we have limited quantities because I only have so much roving left over from Mariposa. So we've been busy. We've been able to definitely make use of every hour of every day. Mark and I were just chatting last night on the patio, and it's like, sometimes when you see everybody else going away and going to cabins or cottages, and you're just like, why don't we block out time for us to rest and relax, especially in the summer when we finally have the weather to enjoy our country. It's a beautiful country in the summer. And unfortunately, it's just the way our business is. So anyway, we had our little pity party over a drink, and we feel much better today. Anyway, I'm going to get at my cute new little labels. I hope you guys like this fall theme that we're doing. I got my artist to draw up this year's fall theme, and it's pretty friggin' cute if you ask me. I think I need my glasses. I sure do. Where should I put you? There? Nice. Oh, they're cute. So this will go around my yarn, and you'll see that soon. Hello, good afternoon. It is Thursday, and another job off the list today. A job that has been pending, I swear, since at least last fall. We picked up Belinda's wool earlier this week. So between hers and mine, we have quite a bit of raw wool ready to get washed now. He sent me the weights already. The bags that I sent, I had 4 pretty much full bags, and that was 782 pounds. And we had 17 pounds of black wool, and Belinda had 1,847 pounds and 52 pounds of black wool. So the total, what we had in the trailer today, is probably the most I've ever taken there at one time, 2,629 pounds. So a big load of wool. Now this wool will all be used for 2026. This plus I have 3-4 bales already washed in my sea can. What I want to do with Belinda is, she actually really doesn't care. She's like, just take my wool. I'm not using it. It's going to go in the compost pile. And I said, no, I want to be fair with it because I want us to be friends. And I don't like doing business with friends unless it's clean. That was the best advice we've ever had in our life, and it is actually the truth. So I asked Richard what he thinks the going rate of raw wool is in Canada, like right now. He said, well, most Canadians aren't getting paid for it, but he goes, honestly, I think it's worth 50 cents. He said, Jane says it's worth $1. So I have to see if I can hear from other people how much it's actually worth and give Belinda like a fair rate. So yeah, my job is to figure out if 50 cents is a fair price for wool that would have gotten thrown out. But I feel like with Belinda, she actually could have used it if she had time to use it. So I don't want to do that to her. I want to actually use it and pay her for it. So anyway, that was this morning's little journey. I am back putting our labels, hoping to have the fall launch. I'm waiting for a few things to come in. I have a couple designs I'm making into shirts, and I have been really struggling as to what to do with these upcoming tariffs. So we are working hard behind the scenes. My sister's coming tomorrow. We want no surprises when the customer gets their order from UPS at the door. We do not want customers to go, no way, I'm not paying that, and then the product comes back, because I don't want to deal with that. And the other thing I'm doing is actually investigating another shipping company, and he emailed me yesterday and said he could actually do better on rates than what we're getting right now. So that's exciting, and it's a Canadian company. So we're gonna work on those things tomorrow when Lisa comes. But yeah, just thought I'd catch you guys up on all this behind the scenes stuff on the wool/merch side. So I'm learning a lot this year. This has been the year of learning for sure. All right, well, we are on our daily lamb check. This has come in very handy because this morning, yesterday, 2 days ago, I noticed one of our triplets that we left with the mama was sort of looking just a little gaunt. Not crazy gaunt, but a little gaunt. So I introduced a bottle to it, and it drank about 150 mils. Yesterday, would not drink and looked really good, so I was like, okay. And this morning, I went through again, and its sibling was stealing off other mums. So I grabbed it, and I could barely get it to drink like 50 mils. So it was either full because it was stealing, or it just refuses the nipple. And that is the problem with not getting a bottle into them first thing right when they're born, because I think these ones were born before I got here on that particular day. But I did, however, offer the bottle to the original one, drank 150 mils again this morning, or 200 mils. So it's good because it forces me to come out. So far, up to this point, I've been coming out to check for joint ill, any lambs limping, or any that have got maybe bullied and injured that way, and any lambs that went backwards. So I'm just gonna steal milk from our nanny because it's already like pre-measured, pre-mixed, pre-warmed, and then just go through the pen and grab any that need a bottle.